Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to work on a necklace using the ammonite bead from out of SoftFlex Design Company's Turtle Love Kit, as well as some of these tiny little bead caps. The rest of the stuff is stuff from my stash, one of those being... Uh-oh, I knocked a bead cap down. Some artistic wire from Beadalon in a, they call this color turquoise. It's not really turquoise to me, but we'll leave it at that. And some SoftFlex craft wire in 18 gauge. So let's turn down, I'll show you what I'm going to do. We're going to take a little length of this gold and we're going to make a bail for this. And this is going to have one of these shell pearls, which are from my stash, and then like so it doubles, and here. And I think that's going to be really pretty. So then that'll be our pendant piece. So then we'll get the artistic wire out here. Now this is 14 gauge. It's a little bit of a heavy wire, but I have no problem with that. If you do, I'm sorry. You could probably use a smaller gauge. That wouldn't be a problem, but this is 14. And what I'm going to do, is hopefully it won't argue with me too much when I do this, is I'm going to make a couple of spirals. I'm going to cut this end off because it looks rather ragged here. And then we're going to take and I'm going to just spiral this one side. For about 4 or 5 spirals. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm going to have to use my nylon jaw pliers to hold this because it is trying to pull off the coating. So there's the one spiral. I think maybe one more loop. So as we come out of this, we're then going to come down here and we're going to bend this up like so. Bring this out some more. Now, I didn't pay attention to how long of that was. I should have, because what we're going to do after we get this done there is we're going to take our oval wire mandrel, put it in here, and pull this other wire up here, and then have it go over here so that it looks like a little, almost like an insect antenna. And then we're going to cut some more wire over here. I'm not sure how much I needed for this spiral. I didn't pay attention. So we're probably going to cut off a goodly amount, and I may end up having to redo it. We'll see. So we need our wire. Oop. I'm hoping I'm not going to be either too long or too short here, but we'll see. This is one time I should have measured because I wanted these to be about the same, obviously. Now this one is looser than this one over here, which is really obvious when you get down here, unfortunately, because this one is got more spirals. 1, 2, 3. Actually, it doesn't. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. So this is our base piece, and we're going to push this together here, because what we're going to do with this is we're going to hook our piece right here, down here below this, and then we're also going to loosen this up a little bit on both sides. Because we're going to jump ring another spiral above this spiral. So, get some more wire out. And this time I am going to measure to see how close they are to each other. And I think we'll stop right here. And then take that extra little bit of notch off there. And we're going to have used most of our wire in this particular piece, it looks like. But that's all right. So now we're going to take these two and we're going to spiral them as well. So we're going to keep spiraling this one until it gets almost to the end of our wire. Then when it gets close, we're going to take this end over here and we're going to make another loop. Wow, this is pulling its coating off. Weird. Anyway, we'll bring this up to this a little better. And then we're going to loosen it a little bit because we want some jump rings to be able to get in here, because we're going to hook these together right here. So now we're going to do the same with this one that we did with that one. Oop. I hate that when my pliers pull off of the wire and it makes that horrid snapping sound. It's not pleasant. Okay, this is almost where it needs to be, so we'll just take it and push it over here. Now this one will sit, see, I've already got it a little bit wider, and it'll sit right here. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so now what we need, not that anymore, is we need to make this piece here, put these together with some jump rings here and here, and then we're going to put some chain up to finish it off. So a relatively simple necklace, but it's going to be, ooh, so pretty. So we're going to want some wire out. This is 18 gauge gold silver plated SoftFlex craft wire. See if I can find my end here. There it is. And we want, oh, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches. This is probably 6. But let's go ahead and measure how much I've got here. As I said, this is 6. So we'll get our cutters out and cut this wire off. Put it to the side here. Okay, so we want to straighten this as much as possible. Now, when I put this through our ammonite, well, it's not an ammonite, it's a check glass, but it's been made to look like an ammonite. And we are going to, you know what? I'm going to round it right now, somewhat anyway. Now hopefully this will slide down on there all right. I'm not sure because it does look like a relatively small hole, so it may bulk right there at the turn. And it did. So we're going to have to pull it back apart. Come on, all the way. Wow, that is a really small hole since it won't go at all right here with the bend in it. Okay. Up you go. Now we'll bring it back around. Now, it didn't keep entirely the round shape, but it's not bad. So we're going to bring her down to both sides. Take our pliers, and we're going to bend this one down, and then bend this one up. Then I'm going to take hold of where it comes together. And I'm going to wrap 2 or 3 times. And you're probably saying, if you're only wrapping 2 times, why did you leave such a long tail? It's because I'm going to silver shift. I like to shift this direction. So we will bring it over just a little bit more. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spiral this and I'm going to put it right down here over this bend. So we'll get our pliers out again. And this time we'll make a tiny loop down here. Now see how that squared there at the end? If that happens, take your regular flush cutters and see if you can't cut the very end of this off. Come here, you. the very end of our, because it's straightened, it's going straight, it's not rounding entirely. So cut the end off and then see if this will go round for you after that. And sometimes it will and sometimes it won't, but it's going to do what it's going to do. Come on, you twist. Now it looks like I could have used a little bit more of the wire to make it come down a little better, but it's not bad. I think I want to see if I can't get it to move over this way some though. That's better. So there is the little spiral on there. Now I'm going to put my beads on here. Come on, you go all the way down. There's pearl number 1. Then we'll put the little and reverse this next one. Now if you wanted to take another, to have a little bit more gapping right there, you could put like a little ball spacer or something like that in there to take up some of the space. Oh, come on, you. Don't fight with me so much. Okay. Since this one seems to want to fight some, I'm going to ream it just a tiny bit. From both sides. And see if I can get it to go through the wire a little easier. We're just a hair's breadth more as she's going on, but really tight. So let's see if we can get just a little bit more of the middle out of there. Now where it's stopping at is every place that there is a kink in our wire. Then I have to work it over the kink. There we go. And then the other little cap. So that's what this is going to look like, and it's going to hang right here. So now what we need to do is we're going to make, since it is going to hang here, we're going to make a loop this direction. And I am going to use the second, not the smallest, but the second one of my bail, and up and over and around. Come down, bring her over, bring her around, lollipop her. Make sure that you have a gap, because this baby now needs to go through here. Okay, we need a bigger gap. So once that's on, which it was until I just let it come off, we push our wires together here, like we did down on the bottom. And then we take our second pair of pliers, make sure you're down there, and wrap this wire up. Then we're going to cut this piece off, this extra piece, and tuck it in. Now I could have spiraled that section too if I'd wanted to, so that it would have covered these wraps up, but then I decided I didn't want to. So there is our pendant piece. Now we need to get some chain and some jump rings out. Now, will this come out of here? Yes, obviously it will. It won't go all the way through the spirals though, because, well, they're too big. There's too much of the spiral. I'm going to bring this down just a hair's breadth more, because I want to make sure that wow, I can't believe how much it shed the coating off up here. And then we want to make sure that our jump rings will go on our spiral. So we need to get some gold jump rings out for putting these pieces together. And then we need to get some gold chain. Now I just got some new gold chain, and I may use it, or I may decide to use this gold chain. We'll see. We have time to decide here. But we need to get our gold jump rings out. Now we're going to want the bigger ones. I don't think the littler ones, the medium size, will work. They might, but I think we'll go with the big ones. And I just put a pile there because I'm going to try and put 2 to each one of these. And then, of course, we'll want one to put the chain on, and then we'll want our clasp too. So let's see if we can get this to work the way I want it to. Go through here, and then through here. Close it up. Okay. Now I want 2 here. Okay, there are those 2. Now we need to put these 2 on over here. Now this one had a little bit of a gap when I went to put them together, so I'm wiggling them with some forward motion to try and bring it back together again. Oh, you get back up here. Okay, now we want our second one in. So there are there's our pendant base piece. So now we just have to add chain up the edges. And if I want, I can double jump ring this too, just to have the look consistent. And I might do that. But let's see what kind of chain I want to use. I have some here, but I think it's too light. We have this. Let's see what it'll look like if I pull it out of the package. Let go. Oh, there's the end right there. Oh, I think I like this. I think this chain looks pretty good. Now, this is going to be a couple of inches right here. About 2 to 2.5. We want this necklace not to be real long because we want it to hang sort of on your chest, but right above your cleavage probably. So I'm thinking we want about 8 to 9 inches of our chain. 8 and 8 is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That actually shouldn't be bad. So let's get about 2 8-inch pieces, or maybe 8.5 if I'm feeling generous here. I think 8's good. So we'll cut it right here at this middle ring here. Actually, I think these can be folded out. Tough guys, but yes, they can be folded out. Now let's just compare these two pieces and get a second piece pulled apart here. This one right here. Goodness, that's some tough chain. And now that I squished that one side, it doesn't want to come off. Let's see if I can get it to cut. There we go. So we'll put the rest of the chain back in its baggie, and then we can put the chain onto the necklace. Okay, so now we will double jump ring this so it looks sort of like the bottom here to put the chain pieces on. So I'll need to get a couple more jump rings for the lobster claw when I decide to add it. So over this loop here, and then into the chain. And again, see, it's got this teeny little gap. Can you see it? And so we want to work that forward just with slight forward pressure. Oops, I slipped off there. Didn't want to do that. There we go. There's one. Now we'll put the second one on. Now this one went the opposite direction and it's too far up there. So I'm going to have to work it back down. There we go. So there's that side done. Well, except for our clasp, of course. And then we will put the chain on the other side with the double jump rings. Now, hold her up, get her all situated here. Come on, baby, what are you doing here? Okay. And we will have to put our lobster claw and our jump ring up on the other side, and then we'll be done. To use a small magnetic clasp for this. This baby is small, but it's very, very strong. So I would double jump ring it if it had enough room in its loop, but I don't really think it does. No. So we're going to go to the end of our chain here, hook this side on. Likes my pliers. Now we'll open the other jump ring and get the other side onto our magnetic clasp. And in she goes. Now, the one thing about a magnetic clasp that you've got to remember is it's going to gather things, like it's gathering its own chain right now. And that's why I don't use them on bracelets, because they try to gather everything that's around you. So if you were to use a magnetic clasp, say on your bracelet, and you put this down, your arm down like this, you'd gather this chain and everything else that's around. See how it's trying to gather the stuff here? But anyway, for a magnetic clasp like this, because it is so strong, when you take it off, you want to slide it. So there is our necklace all finished. She's trying to slide around some here. But we got her fixed there. And there she is. Isn't that pretty? So there is our necklace. Because of the way it's made, this one keeps wanting to not sit quite the way I want it to. Probably because I don't have that bottom loop as wide open on this side as I do down below on the other side. Let's see if it'll sit better now. Come on, you. Okay, so there she is, and she'll sit. Let's put her on. So this is a dark shirt that almost matches the, but here we go. That's what it's going to look like. So very pretty twisted wire, coiled, well, yeah, I guess it's spiraled wire necklace, using the ammonite piece out of our SoftFlex Design Company's Turtle Love, as well as all these little gold bead caps are from that. Everything else is from my stash. But, oops, don't drop it, Rose. But I think it turned out really cute. I hope you liked it. And if you try anything like this, send me a photo so I can see what it looks like. We'll see you later. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden.